Witcher fanfiction, short story, Back to the Beginning. Written by Irene Marras. Back to the beginning. The battle was over. Avallac'h stepped forward, the ground blackened beneath his boots and broken weapons. A wind blew across the field, but it was no longer the wind of war, it was the wind of silence, of ash and loss. This was Erine's mark. He had arrived late, too late to stop anything, but not too late to find answers. His eyes roamed the faces of the dead, but he did not look among them for Riana. He already knew she wasn't here. Something inside him had already come to a conclusion before he himself had realized it. If she had died, the world would have been a quieter place. But now there was still an echo in that silence. Avallac'h put his hands on the ground. Remnants of magic. Not of Riana, but of someone who had tried to take her. His jaw tightened. Irene had been here. And if Irene had been here, he already knew too much. Avallac'h stood and looked at the horizon. Riana had escaped. He knew it now. And he would find her first? Something had changed. Avallac'h knew immediately it was no coincidence. It was nothing he had expected. It was not Erine's magic, nor the remnants of his own research. It was something else. It was a movement. It was a direction. But it was not his decision. It was not under his control. He closed his eyes for a moment, trying to analyze it. It wasn't powerful, not yet. But it was there. He felt it like a faint pulse in the fabric of the world, like a blood vessel throbbing near the surface. And it moved. He opened his eyes. It was no accident. It was Riana. He turned his gaze in a direction from which he could sense the energy flow. And he knew. Just beneath those towering mountains lay the hidden shrine of the elves, the Arin cemetery. The cemetery where Gilvaun was also buried. Avallac'h waved his hand and a portal appeared before him. Although he didn't fully understand what was happening, he knew where Riana was going. He had been right. He watched silently as she walked between the marble statues and tombs towards the oldest part of Arin. He could feel the ripple of blood magic in the air, guiding the elven woman forward. She seemed to walk as if in a trance, stopping in front of Gilvaun's tomb. The woman's gaze went to the statue of Gilvaun. The man was immortalized, reaching out his hand towards another figure standing on the grave. This second statue depicted Dillion with her back turned to the man, her gaze proud in the distance. Avallac'h saw Riana raise her other hand towards the statue of the woman. When she touched it, the mage could feel the energy vibrations change. Riana stood still, her eyes glazed over. The mage knew what was going on. She had just had a vision. Avallac'h straightened his posture, conjured a magical ball of light, and started walking towards the woman with his hands behind his back. "You found them? Impressive." The woman dropped the torch she was carrying and quickly turned around. Though Avallac'h had been following her for quite some time, this was the first time those greenish-blue eyes had met his directly. Avallac'h didn't know what he had expected. He had been watching this woman for years, observing her decisions, her strength, her manners. He had seen her first kill, her insecurities, her stubbornness, but he had never looked her in the eye. And now, when she met his gaze, he saw something he had never seen before. Riana was not afraid of him. She was confused. She was shocked. But she wasn't afraid. Avallac'h wasn't sure what he thought about that. Then she opened her mouth. "I almost had a stroke."